Welcome to Bet On It live from my hotel room here in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. All jokes aside, I hope we have no audio or tech issues here on this Wi-Fi. It is now Monday Night Football. We've been waiting for this game all week. Let's bring in our experts, Marco D'Angelo and Gianni the Greek Gambler. You guys, I know you cannot wait to bet this beautiful Monday night game. But before we get to that, let's recap the weekend. My best bet, I knew it was dead in the water. Before I even filmed for Bleacher Report yesterday morning, when I saw the Bucks hit 3.5 and then 3, I was just defeated. And I said it on Twitter. I was like, look, I don't love this. I've got to own it because I gave it already out on Wednesday. I've already got it at 4.5. What a terrible number at that. Then every single expert on the NFL Network picked the Bucks, and I was like, okay, now we're dead. It was 14-0. I turned it off and went and had some margaritas with some of my family members and said, I'm done with this game. Marco, your thoughts on this weekend, and then we'll let VR talk about him being the lone best bet winner in the NFL.
Yeah, Kelly, we had a chance with the Chargers yesterday at the end of the game there, and they couldn't punch it in. Poor Anthony Lynn. As we were saying just before we came on the air, who do we make the favorite for the next coach to lose their job? Is it going to be Lynn from the Chargers or Matt Patricia from the Lions? They're both pitiful. But for me here on the show, 3-3, and we got the teaser pending tonight with New England. We'll talk about that. Unfortunately, I missed both the best bets this week, both the close losses with them, but we hit the other plays, and the deli was open. The Buffalo Bills, we got that, foot-long double meat special home, so good there. And then the barking dog had almost barked out loud. I didn't have the cojones to pull the sprinkle, and they almost won the game. Had a shot at the end, but we'll take the easy cover with them. So I'm there. We got to pass the torch to the man that nailed both of his best bets this week, and that's Gianni.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Marco. My Iowa bet was such a rocking chair easy winner. Then turn around and flip side, the Bucks was the easy rocking chair loser. VR, I said before we came on, congratulations to you. And yes, Marco, I wanted to also thank you. I used your sandwich game all week long on every media spot I did. I said, look, I missed the scheduling spot. Marco picked this out. You absolutely nailed it with the easy winner there, as well as the Panthers getting the cover. VR, thank you for that Dolphins bet. That helped get me over the hump to be a profitable Sunday. So I will take that. Do you have any?
I was actually worried about that bet because a real respected wise guy that I respect a lot bet Arizona -4.5 on Saturday night and -5. And that's why it got up to 6. So to be honest with you, I was a little worried. And taking Miami +5 when it closed 6 wasn't the best bet I could make, but it ended up in my favor. Obviously, I didn't know 4 days prior that gentleman was going to love Arizona. Now, with that said, my week started great. I passed on Thursday night. Because I didn't like anything. And in fact, I did a couple shows Thursday and said the groups I work with bet Green Bay -7, but I didn't release it to subscribers because I didn't like the play myself. I bet 3 college that night, ended up sweeping the board. So hopefully if you're watching the show, you're also paying attention and learning, not just, jumping on free picks and hoping they win. That's more important to me than anything else, because the truth of the matter is I've won every single day in November. We haven't had a losing day yet. Is that going to continue forever? No, of course not. But what's most important is that the best bet I made on this show was the Indianapolis Colts, which lost. That was actually the best bet that you could possibly make, that I made all weekend, was the best, probably the Colts. The Saints was a real good one, and a few in college. And here's why. I bet +3.5 and gave it to my subscribers, +3, +3.5. On the show, I gave it out. It was still 2.5. And then it closes -1. That's a good bet. The fact they didn't win doesn't matter to me. And when you say, wait, what are you talking about, VR? It didn't win. How's that a good bet? Because by placing good bets, it allows me to say this. I'm that 1% that right now it's November 7th, 8th. I could tell you we've gone through 10 months this year. I'm up exactly 148% going into today. In the NFL, I'm up 30.85% in 2020. In college football, I'm up 39.55% in 2020. I'm up in NFL in 2020. I'm up in college football in 2020. I'm up for the year after 10 months in 2020. And I have not had a single losing year at WagerTalk since I started. Now, this wasn't a VR infomercial. The reason I brought all that out is because that's the product, that's the result of placing good bets. That's not me giving out a winner tonight. That's me giving out a bet like the Colts and placing that bet over and over and over and over again, realizing it's going to lose 4 out of 10 times. That's fine, 4.5 even. But those 5.5, 6 out of 10, they're going to keep winning over and over again. We're going to rinse and repeat. And we're going to turn profit. That's why I do this. I don't do this for any other reason. So again, the best bet I made was the Colts. That didn't get there. Fortunately, the 2 best bets did in college and NFL. And let's just keep it going because I'm not done. We have 6-7 weeks left in this year. And I told you remember I wrote it down, October 7th, I made myself a minus 160. I was up plus 113% on October 7th. And I told you I'll make myself minus 160 that December 31st, I'll be up more money with my approach. Well, since those 32 days have passed, we've added 35% profit to that. And over the next 2 months, I'm going to add more because that's what I do. I don't win every day. I don't win every bet. I don't win every week. I don't even win every month. But I win more than I lose. And less than 1% of people can say that. And that's why I'm plus for this year. And that's why we're going to continue winning. So let's give these people some Monday night winners because they're tired of hearing about my weekend. They want to hear about our week coming up.
Oh my gosh, this one is just such a stinker. So we know that the Pats opened up 7.5. We saw them drop to 7. Joe Flacco gets announced as the starter for Monday night, and this one moves to 10. Mark, I'm actually going to let you talk about that line move here before we start to break down the game. I know divisional home dogs. I've been preaching about them for weeks now. I'm not going to count the Chargers because they weren't a home dog. They did close a home dog, but they didn't open. When they opened in the look-ahead line, a 3-point favorite. Then they closed +1, but they were a pick 'em for a better part of the week. But the Jags got there for us. The Jets. Oh my God. I don't know if I can plug my nose, cover my eyes, and get this done. But talk to everybody about the actual line move and what your thoughts are here, Marco.
Yeah, Kelly, obviously there's a difference between Joe Flacco and Darnold in here, but the line move, the initial move, this is not a 3-point move from Darnold to Flacco. It's not that big of a move. What the move was is when it was sitting at 7.5 and then we knew it was going to go back up, Vegas knew that everybody was going to tease New England. Hell, we did it on the show on Wednesday, and I have a live teaser moving to this one when I grabbed that 7.5 and took it down. I even said it would have a position if we wanted to coming back on Monday night. If we have New England at -1.5 and this line continues to rise, we could come back with a bet on the Jets if we want to hedge it a little bit, but that's another story. This was put in for a teaser blocker. And what is a teaser blocker? When you're sitting at 7.5, the books know they are open to get a landslide of bets on the favorite because what you're going to do is just bring it down to pick the winner. You're taking them down to 1.5. And when it's a primetime game like this, there's going to be even more bets on that. Not only the sharps, but the squares as well will be betting that side. So what they do to slow the teasers down, and we always talk why teasers are so profitable, is if you get them through the key numbers of 3, 4, 6, and 7, and you're doing it on a 6-point teaser, which would be the lowest juice you're charged. If they take it to 9, you can't get it below the 3. And that is what is called a teaser blocker. So if you want to get it below that, you have to either use a 6.5 or a 7-point teaser, which they charge you way more juice on. And that's how Vegas can slow these down. Then once we got word late in the week that it was going to be Flacco starting, then you saw the move of a point and a half added to the line whenever he was announced because granted, you have Darnold and then you have the human statue. What are you going to do? That's worth a point or two. No question.
All right, Vera, I'm going to start with you. Have you seen anything in your accounts in regards to this Monday night game? I'm looking right now on the WagerTalk odds page, and we're starting to see some 9.5s pop up. I'm surprised here. Is that sharp money coming in on the Jets?
No, I think you're going to see some. Anytime a line moves so significantly, you almost always have wise guy money on both sides, where you're going to have a distance of agreement on where the value lies. And that's how it should be. In every market, someone thinks that this product is priced too low, someone thinks it's priced too high, and that's what makes a beautiful market. And a lot of times they may both end up being right, with the value being somewhere in the middle. Now, I will say this. I did see the same group, the volume group that I call them, that they have the kind of bankroll where they could afford to take shots at small value. And what I mean is, it's like I tell people that buy my stuff and you say, oh, dude, you fire too much volume. And I say, dude, well, use your head. Pick off the strongest plays. Just bet the 4% and 5%. That's not a lot of those. Ignore the 2% and 3% plays. You know, if you don't have the bankroll for them, go after the biggest edges. Well, these groups that go after the smallest edges, they actually saw some value on the New England Patriots at -7. The same group that bet Green Bay on Thursday at -6.5 and 7. Again, I didn't feel the confidence that that was a strong move that I consider a true steam play, where I'm going to piggyback it for myself, share it with subscribers, and consider it a real move. But I wanted to win because I take a percentage of the accounts. So what I did when I saw that they were coming on New England, I said, okay, here's an opportunity. I'm not going to lay the points because I don't love it that much, but it does make sense on a teaser. And especially with this being that plus EV teaser, we could get it through 7, we could get it through 3. So I tied up 2 teasers yesterday afternoon, one with Houston, one with Tennessee. And I gave one out to subscribers. I think I gave the Tennessee one or the Houston one. Regardless, I gave one out a 4% play. Okay, that one in the morning. So then we have the afternoon games. And I'm seeing that line moving a little more now towards the Patriots. I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to tease another game and tie it in with New England as well. Let me get some more exposure on the Patriots before I move. So the second game, the Chargers plus 8.5, because it was able to get them through 3, through 7. The only reason I took it, tease them with New England. They cover. So now I have 7%, a bigger play than a 5% play on New England below a field goal. I have him at -2, graded at -2.5, we'll say. Now my job's easy. My subscribers already got their first order, and that's 4%, a little more than half the bet. We took the Jets, and we took plus 10.5. I'm even going to lay -120 because I did see the 10.5 gone, and I see even 9.5s. And the reason for that is it gives us a bigger middle. So I'm willing to lay. Now what we're doing is ultimately paying 0.2 or 0.4 to win 10x that amount. If it lands in the middle. And why do I think that made sense? Because I looked at the total, and the total's 41. And when you expect a lower scoring game, points matter more. These are the games you want to tease. These are the games where it actually does matter, the extra points. You are getting more value. Even if they don't score, even if it isn't a low scoring game, the fact that it's highly probable to be lower scoring than one that's totaled 55, let's say. So that's what I did. They already got 4 of it back. We're probably going to try to middle the whole 7%. Put up more or less one unit to win 15, to win 10, 15x our amount of money. If it lands between Patriots, win between a field goal and 10 points. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Real quickly, to give a pick for the show, because that doesn't help you out, I haven't released it as a premium yet. I haven't bet it. None of my groups did. But the guys that bet totals, they usually bet them a little bit later, especially on prime time. I have an idea where they're going. We'll see. If they confirm it, I'll probably fire premium. I like the over in this game. I wish I would have bet it when it was as low as, I think, 41 at some places. Now it's up to 43. That's the reason I haven't released it. But I think the narrative here is 2 pathetic teams. More importantly, now you have a quarterback a backup in Flacco. So you have it even more shaded towards those biases, but the total's climbing a little bit. And I think you're seeing some short money come in on the over. We'll see if the public money follows. If that line keeps climbing, obviously I'll probably be forced to sit it out and just cheer in a middle. Probably not even watch the game, to be honest with you. Be working on contender stuff for tomorrow. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to try to middle the game and make a huge score of 15%, or end up having some exposure on the over as well, because I do think it's low. I think the total should have been at least 45. And I think the bias of the offenses being as weak as they are is why we're getting this lower total.
All right, Marco, your thoughts on Monday night? I keep seeing the Bart Simpson meme that I keep posting all over Twitter in my head. It was like, I will not bet the Jets. I will not bet the Jets. The Jets 1-7 against the spread. They covered against the Bills, and that's been all she's wrote this year. I am terrified to bet this Jets team. I know it coincides with my divisional home dog theory. Who knows? Maybe I have a couple cocktails today with my niece at the zoo. Well, she's not having cocktails, but I will be. And I'll get some cojones myself to be able to bet this one. I'm with BR. I do kind of lean towards the over here, but I haven't made a play yet. Your thoughts on Monday Night Football?
Well, to start it off, obviously, Kelly, I am sitting with, from the show, ticket in my pocket on New England with the teaser. But looking at this game, it's almost like a repeat of last Monday night, where we were talking about historically Monday night home dogs used to be the thing. I mean, that was back in the 80s when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. This was a spot where you blindly took the home dog. But we've seen that change, and we talked about how over the last several decades you saw the decline to where it wasn't a popular play. Or profitable play, I should say. And then what happened? Last Monday night, we added home dog, get the money on Monday Night Football. But I'm going to look at this one in this New York Jet team. We're talking about historically bad. We've had bad teams. We've had winless teams. But we're talking about a Jets team. They are ranked dead last in offense. This team is made 4.5 yards per play, Kelly. That's it. The lowest in the NFL, 259 yards a game is all they're generating offensively. Now, we look at New England, and granted, the New England season's been a train wreck. And, the narrative's going to be, well, looks like Belichick needed Brady more than Brady needed Belichick, except last night. He needed a lot of help last night there against the Saints. Brady did. But you look at this one, and the offense for New England, they had done well at times. Cam Newton had some moments, but then he got hit with the COVID, had to miss a game. And then the situation is, we don't know if there was any lasting, lingering effects, because he did have some bad games after that. So is it the end of the road for Cam, or was it the after effects of COVID? What was it? But we look at the New England offense, and when they run the football successfully, they've been in the games. And last week, they ran the ball 34 times for 188 yards. And if you go back earlier in the season, when they beat the Raiders, they put up 250 on the ground. When the Kansas City game, it was the turnovers that killed them. There was no Cam Newton in that game, but they still ran for 185 yards in that one and were competitive until late in the fourth quarter, where the turnovers just did them in. I think they run the football against the Jets. I don't think the Jets can generate enough offense with Joe Flacco on the field. And I'll give you a couple stats, Kelly, on the Jets. We know they're bad. It's just blindly, bet against the Jets. But over the last 3 seasons, when they are coming off a loss, which they've had a lot of them in the last 3 seasons, so it's a pretty decent sample size, they're just 8-19 against the spread off a loss the last 3 years. And when it was a game in which they were outgained by 150 yards or more, 0-6 in that scenario, giving you a subset. So for me, and I just got done doing the show with the Prez and Teddy, I'm going to steal Teddy's line where he always says, if I'm playing, I'm laying. And that's the only way I can look at it. I lean to New England. I am not going to get to the window for New England -10, but if I had to play the game, that's where I would be at. I will enjoy my -1.5 in the teaser.
All right. That is all for your Monday Night Football edition of Bet On It. We're going to be back on Wednesday, per usual, breaking down the entire NFL card. Guys, good luck tonight. Godspeed. And no, I am not going to bet the Jets. From Marco, VR, and myself, we'll see you guys next time on Bet On It.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.